Alright guys, how y'all doing today? This is Rocky Castro. I am in Plaquemine Parish, out here where I got arrested last Saturday, falsely arrested. So just to give you guys a highlight, I was driving down this highway, coming from that direction, going this direction. With doing so, I got illegally pulled over. The cops thought my car was stolen because of my plates. As you guys can see, my plates have a dot on it, so I'm gonna cover up my license plate number. But as you guys can see, at the top of it says a dot, which means, Arizona Department of Transportation. Now this is a funny thing, guys. I had just bought this car the week before. So on February 16th, I purchased this Mustang and went out of town for work. So when I go to work on last Friday night, on the 17th, on the, whatever it was, the 23rd, I get off work. When I got off work, went to bed for a little while, woke up. Now down by the plant that I hired for, because I'm a crane operator, they have no food, restaurants, or nothing. So I drove up to the nearest city. The nearest city is called Belle Chase. So the cops pulled me over illegally detained me, tried to say my car registration wasn't valid. They tried to sit there and say that my car didn't have valid insurance. So it's kind of crazy that they're able to pull up all this nonsense on me, but in all reality, I had just purchased the vehicle 1 week before I got pulled over. So as anybody well knows, you can't leave a car dealership without full coverage insurance. Well, I have full coverage insurance, and so I and everything. I pull over here. I park in this parking spot right here, right? Due to privacy, I'm not gonna show the business I parked in front of. But I will say though, where I got pulled over at, guys, was literally right next door to the sheriff's department. How crazy is that? So I get pulled over. I roll down my window about 4 inches. Now, mind you, everything's on dash cam, because I have a dash cam in my car. And then on top of that, I have, I'm trying to obtain the body cam and the dash cams from the police officers, which I've already requested that. So with that being said, there's a secret alliance from the company, from the job site, stating if you have any reactions with any of the police officers here in Plaquemine Parish area, that they could call your job and have you terminated, which is what they did. Now, the funny part of it all is, a lot of you guys know who my wife is, Ms. Mari Cruz, from her podcast show and her Facebook channel. So with that being said and done, these guys didn't have anything on me. I was 100% legal. Well, since they couldn't give me no tickets, they made a phone call to my insurance company, found out. Let me rewind. They got from dispatch saying I had no insurance. That's what came back from dispatch, which was not true. So when I finally did cooperate to get out the car, because I refused to get out the car at first because the officers started demanding stuff, which was breaking policy. In the state of Louisiana in 2022, the law had changed, like it went enforced over there in California. An officer cannot ask you any questions, mind you, until he tells you why he had pulled you over. That's the first thing that has to come out of the officer's mouth. First thing, even before he can give up his name and badge number, he must disclose what the stop is for. Believe it or not, that is in a bill that was passed in 2022 here in the state of Louisiana by the governor. And so he didn't do that. First thing came out of his mouth was, roll down your window further. I refused, which is my legal right. As long as you can hear, see, in my car partially, where my hands were on top of my steering wheel, and there's enough room to fit documentation through, I do not have to comply to that. And that's also in one of their statutes and bylaws and amendments here in Louisiana. Now, you guys know my wife, so during this whole time, I was actually, following my navigation to get something to eat, but Mrs. Castro, my wife, was actually on the phone with me, on the car phone. She was on the car stereo, the speaker, because we have hands-free on my cars. So, he had no reason to pull me over except for my license plate that he could not understand. So because he did not understand it, he thought my license plate was fake. He thought my car was stolen. So he pulls me over. He starts being irate. And then on top of that, after being irate, I demanded a supervisor because I did not want to deal with the officer and I wasn't going to handle my documentations for him to railroad me until a supervisor got on scene. Now, we all know we asked for supervisors due to the fact that a supervisor is the mediator. He's supposed to come in calm and collective. He's supposed to be able to be the one to de-escalate any escalated situations. That's the supervisor's job. But that's not the case in this situation.